Hello everyone! Once again, your Busa boy has appeared to drop some of that sweet knowledge, especially to you youngins and new riders. But Yammie, how many more new rider tips do you have? Shut it! These might sound like they're on repeat, but they're simply being reiterated. For those of you just joining my channel, hello, grab a chair and listen in. For those of you that have been with me for a while, these tips might serve to refresh your memory on what's important. The two riders at the most risk for going down are the complete noob from basic rider errors and the most experienced riders that's overconfident and forgets a thing or two momentarily. It's at that moment that they go down. Let's try to prevent it. Number 1, throttle control. For the 1000th time, learn how to control your throttle. Braking, clutching, leaning, and all the other skills that are important on a bike, but throttle control is the #1 skill that's going to save your life on a daily basis. Controlling the throttle isn't just about gassing it through a turn or a rough patch of road, it's about being able to corner with finesse, surviving a turn you miscalculated, or the difference between riding comfortably and nearly killing yourself. On a Hayabusa, throttle control matters. On smaller bikes, it matters too for lane changes. All bikes, throttle control is the most important aspect of cornering and riding your bike. Whether you're hanging off your bike, going through it upright, dragging knee, or taking it slow, throttle control is going to help you successfully take that corner. Learn how to control your throttle properly to get the most traction out of your bike, and also learn if you need to adjust your throttle cables or even throttle position sensor. Now, do you want to know something else that matters? Your balls! Don't let them be covered in gnarly pubes. Give back to the sack with Manscaped and feel good about your southern hemisphere once again. I am excited to be one of the first to confirm that after 18 months of research and development, they have the new Lawnmower 3.0 waterproof body trimmer has been released. It comes with tons of upgrades. It's got a new and improved ergonomics package with advanced skin-safe technology. It's the same ceramic trimmer. It's 100% compatible with the LM 2.0 and the new 3.0. And best of all, it has an upgraded 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology, baby. It also has a pretty cool built-in light. When you purchase the new Perfect Package 3.0 online at manscaped.com, click that link below and use the code YAMMIE20 to get 20% off your order. As always, it's going to include free shipping. Guys, click the link, check out Manscaped. They support the channel. They do great work for us over here, and we love to send you guys over to them so you can do great work for them. Yammie20 is going to get you 20% off. The new Lawnmower 3.0 is pretty sweet. I've been using it myself, and it chops them up no problem. Number 2, the rear brake. A lot of riders probably forget that a rear brake exists because there's so many other controls to get used to, unless we're talking about our off-road bros. It's okay, but your rear brake is there for a reason. It's going to help make sudden stops more controllable, help make tight maneuvers easier, and help you perform hill starts. Even though bikes have a majority of their braking power up front, the rear brake can aid in emergencies. For the new rider, it is particularly useful during slow speeds and tight maneuvers such as U-turns and parking lot navigation. The rear brake instantly changes the turn-in of the motorcycle and will make sharper turns easier to perform at lower speeds. If you hate hill starting your bike, then you should probably start using the rear brake to help you. This simple but very effective technique allows you to lean the bike on your left foot, rest your right foot on the brake, which frees your right hand to control the throttle and not the front brake when starting, and you can very smoothly accelerate from the hill without leaning back at all. Of course, your left hand will be free to control the clutch, and it all works out after you practice a few times. Number 3, lean and hang, baby. The next one is for the Ninja 400 R3 bros out there wanting to stay riding upright. Don't! If you can successfully corner without leaning your bike or hanging off of it, it serves no purpose to forego the experience. It's better to hang or lean off the bike more than it is to get used to riding upright through turns. There will be a time when you encounter a decreasing radius corner by surprise and become scared. It's not a fun experience, but in that moment, you can either lean the bike over as far as possible, risk going off the road, or risk low-siding it. Don't put yourself at risk or in danger, especially if you're a new rider. Knowing how to properly lean off the bike during corners and how to hang off the bike will only better prepare you for the worst when it happens, because you can flick in easier, you can turn in sharper, and you can get more lean angle off the bike. Now, please note, I am not saying that knowing how to hang off your bike like a little spider monkey is a good substitute for understanding basic cornering and throttle control. Learn that first, my dudes. Number 4, watch a twist of the wrist. Depending on how much Yammie Noob you guys watch per week or per month, this is another reminder to watch a twist of the wrist and read the book. This video was a game changer for me because I felt like cornering was going to be easy and simple. In the MSF course, it's literally a solid 15 minutes of your time in class with 0 practical applications. You don't practice leaning or cornering above 20 miles per hour, so seriously, my dudes, sit down and watch this video. For those of you that are visual learners, this video has you covered. What is throttle control and why is it so important? How do you not die while being on a motorcycle? This video will cover everything about body position, lean angle, using the throttle to overcome adverse road conditions, and etc. I've actually met Keith Code, and he is a legend among men, as I've done the California Superbike School. It all started with a twist the wrist for me, and I'm glad I met the master himself. Number 5, stand up your bike for gas. The next tip is just a general tip and something you can do immediately if you haven't done so already. It's standing up your bike when you fill up on gas. Why, Yammie? Because that's how you get the most gas in your tank. If you have to tiptoe the bike, you can set your stand down just in case. When your bike is level and not on the kickstand, you can fill the gas tank to the brim, which will only give you more miles between stops. It's not a big deal, but it's something I've seen a few noobs do if they've gotten gas. Take it from Papa Yams, get the gas tank as full as possible because some bikes don't have a gas gauge or any indication that the bike is running low on gas. Number 6, hold off on mods. A lot of you might flame me for this one, but the next on our list is to simply hold off on mods. Why do you ask? As a new rider, you need to get your skills from beginner to not worrying about dying today. You need confidence and comfort while riding. If you start dumping mods into it like a tune, a sprocket change, a full exhaust system, you might be distracted from being able to ride with confidence. I'm going to do a video on common mods for motorcycles and explain them, so check back with me in a week or 2. For now, get used to riding your bike as it sits stock. If you bought it with a slip-on, sure, but don't actively try to change things that should stay stock for now. The sprocket change on a bike will turn it into a completely different animal. If you're gonna mod your bike, get frame sliders and that's it. It'd be a shame if you dropped $1,200 on a full exhaust system only to lay your bike down the next day. There is no better feeling than to replace a factory part with a performance one out of necessity and not simply desire. So crush that factory exhaust system while you're learning, then splurge on the new exhaust system when you have skills. Number 7, slow speed for skill. So you want to be Valentino Rossi? Good. That's real good. Now you need to get on your bike and go as slow as possible. The best riders can control their bikes at any speeds, and this includes 4 miles per hour as well. Don't be the rider that waddles into the red light, stalls on hill starts, but then can rip down the highway at 140 miles per hour. If that's you, you're a squid. Congratulations. Anyone, literally anyone, can learn how to get on a bike out of the parking lot onto the highway just so they can shift gears and hit top speed. Be the rider that can comfortably U-turn from a parking spot, hill start, rarely stall, and then enjoy spirited riding. Slow speed maneuvers are a true test of a rider's skill set in my opinion. There are older riders who can't execute U-turns, who don't use a rear brake ever. And then there are riders who have been riding for thousands of miles on big terrain bike, but then can't make a 90-degree turn from start. Don't be the rider that doesn't practice the essentials and only does what they want. Lacking skills at slow speeds is only going to hurt your abilities at higher speeds. Number 8, experience every road and weather condition. So you're a new rider and you watched a twist of the wrist. Well, now what? Get experience on different roads and weather conditions. Now, I'm not saying to go and try to rip the tightest corners in town at high speeds or to try and ride the sleet or snow. I'm saying you need to get used to riding different roads in different weather as well. As a new rider, you're going to encounter a lot of firsts. Your first drop, your first debris-cluttered road, your first rainstorm, etc. If you can safely ride out to some roads that you know are not going to be the best shape or best corners, start riding them slowly and then work your way up to speed as your skill increases. Get used to throttle control and get used to a point where you can ride over sand mid-turn. You're not going to panic and release the throttle later in the future. For weather, if you have the gear, go and try riding in the rain. I suggest you get used to riding on wet pavement before you start riding in the middle of a storm when the roads are the most slick. You need to rack up experience while you're safer and closer to home as opposed to being a couple hours away and suddenly caught in a downpour. How would you get home? Would you become stranded? Number 9, get mechanically inclined. This next tip is for anyone who said they'd never learn about mechanics or who says they're not mechanically inclined, like myself included. As a rider, you do need to know how to do the basic maintenance on your bikes. Cars are pretty simple nowadays. You have a light for emission problems, a light for low tire pressure, and some of the cars can even tell you when a brake light or a headlight is out. On bikes, you're gonna have to check pretty much everything yourself. I'm not saying you need to be able to change your own oil, adjust your own suspension, or change your air filter, but it helps to know at least how to check your oil, how to know when your suspension needs adjustment, and well, you should be able to check and change your air filter. Get mechanically inclined. There's plenty of videos on YouTube and factory service manuals and aftermarket manuals as well that are available to you. If you don't think you can ever adjust your valves, for example, no problem, it's a pretty big job. But knowing the mileage interval and having a basic idea on how the job is performed can help you from getting ripped off and finding the right technician. Get educated and learn a thing or two about your motorcycle. You never know. After a year of putting your bike on a stand and pulling the fairings off, you might be doing your own maintenance because you begin to enjoy it. Number 10, avoid peer pressure. Last but not least on our list, and I think is one of the most important, is to avoid peer pressure. This is taught as ride your own ride, and no matter how you say it, it holds true. When you're riding as a beginner, you need to focus on improving your own skills at your own comfort level. Don't try to hang with local squids or do group rides with your friends on leader bikes that like to stunt. Motorcycling is first and foremost about you. Don't be pressured into doing anything you don't want to do. One thing a lot of new riders aren't used to is the attention that bike draws, and I'm not talking about from girls either. Most new riders get attention from coworkers, neighbors, or even family members who get all excited or concerned that you have a bike now. Mind you, 99% of these people no longer have a bike because they wrecked theirs, so don't let them pressure you into letting them go for a ride. Stand your ground, it's your bike, so if they want to ride so bad, they can buy their own. Now that's going to do it for today's video. Are there any tips you found helpful when you began riding? Are there any tips you'd like to share with the riders in our community in the comment section below? Let us know. And remember, once again, hit up Manscaped down below. That Lawnmower 3.0 is a beast. It can handle anything you throw at it and is a hell of a thing. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later. Fact: the woodpecker's brain is covered in dense muscles and a compressible bone, preventing it from both damaging and getting headaches while it's pecking away, even though they kind of give us headaches. Goodbye.